And I'm actually happy I've got it. It's quite cool to whap it out. Hey, how's it going, and welcome to Guinness Whims. That's terrible. Welcome to Whiskey Whims. Today we're going to try the different Guinness, if that's plural, and see if we can taste a difference. I'm a big Guinness fan, love the stuff. Always prefer it out draft. However, Diageo have came out with a Nitro Surge can. Hopefully you can see that. This little can here with a little widget which costs £30, which is mental. But I decided to buy it to try it. The cans themselves are 4 pints for £8. That's £2 a pint, which isn't too bad, but it's a lot more than just the normal ones. This one's supposedly just the stout one with the widget inside that you can pierce the top, which I'm going to try, and use this, and it gives you a similar experience to the Nitro Surge can. So it'll be interesting to see if that works, because I'm not entirely sure how this works. It's obviously not got any, I can't believe it's got any nitrogen in it or anything like that, because it's not got any like cylinder warnings or gas warnings on it. So I'm not sure how this agitates the Guinness. But this obviously has a little widget in it, and when you open it to atmosphere, I'm sure it releases a little bit of nitrogen. I could be wrong, but that's how I assume it works. We've also got the original Guinness to see how that compares, and we've got the Draught 0.0, the alcohol free, which has a widget inside it as well. So what I was going to do, because these aren't pint ones or pint measures, I was going to use 2 of these to pour it into one to try and get a good head, to see what the head difference was like. But unfortunately, I only have 2, and I want to try the piercing method with the widget to see if that works. So what we will do is we can compare the head with the non-alcoholic, because essentially that's the same principle as the alcoholic one. It's got the widget in there and it gives you the head that way. So we'll get pouring them, and I'll speed that up. I'll show you the process with the Nitro Surge if you've never used it before, and we'll try it with the with piercing the can. I'm told you have to pierce the can kind of slowly so that you don't agitate the widget, or activate the widget, should I say. So we'll start with the Guinness 0.0. I'm not really sure if there's a technique to pouring home Guinness, because I obviously know you have the 2-part pour with Guinness in a pub and a Nitro Surge Guinness, but these home pours, I'm not really sure if there's a method to doing that. So I'll let that settle for a bit. I always just like doing a 2-part pour anyway because it looks cool. So we'll let that one settle, and we'll move on to the normal Guinness, or maybe not a normal Guinness, but the Draught Guinness. I'm just going to put this in the Guinness glass. That almost looks like the widget's not activated on that one. Yeah, that widget's not activated at all. Ah, that's a little bit disappointing. Well, there's one ruined. One test. Or has it? No, it doesn't look like the widget's happened at all. I've never had that before. Trust it to happen on on camera. So that one looks like it's getting a little bit of a head. I could top up with the other one, but we'll still give it a taste test anyway. I've got the other one for trying. What else have we got here? We've got the original Guinness, which is just a can, no widget in it whatsoever. So that should just be a case of pouring. This is just a stout, obviously nothing. Well, they're all stouts, but this is nothing special. It's not got any gizmos inside. And then we'll do the. I'll finish this. This is obviously all ad lib. I kind of wanted to do it blind, to see if I could taste the difference, but it would have been hard to set up blind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and taste the difference. So there we go. I'm adding this non-alcoholic one up. Seeing if I can get a dome with a non-alcoholic one. The heads went a little bit all over the place. I'm going to fill it up as far as that. It's maybe quite a big head.
Well, that's a huge noggin. It's a virtual planetoid. Has its own weather system.
Yeah, that's the thing I suppose about not having a pint. You have to use two cans. Whereas you do get a pint version. So I'm just going to compare the heads for now. I know obviously the first Nitro can has not went my way, but we'll compare the heads. So that's the normal Guinness without any widget or anything like that. It's a decent head, it's just a stout head, as you'd expect. It doesn't really look like a Guinness head, it's quite lumpy, quite bubbly. It just looks like a normal stout, which is fine. Now this looks more like a Guinness head. It's a little bit thicker than I would have liked. It's a little bubbly, and this is what I've noticed about the Nitro Surge cans. It's a bit of a shame that that's went awry, because these cans are actually okay, and I feel like that's just going to ruin the taste, so I might have to redo that and just use the other can, but I really want to try it with the Surge can. However, the non-alcoholic one, yeah, the head looks fine. It's not smooth all the way around. I don't know if you can see, there's like little pockets of air or bubbles in the head, so we'll get onto the Nitro Surge can now, and I'll let them sit for a while. I don't think I'm going to drink that because that's that's just not went my way whatsoever. So with the Nitro Surge can, if you've not used it, you just slowly open it, you make sure your Nitro Surge is charged, your nozzle's in, you line up the holes, so make sure the logo is facing the top, and you press the button on the side, wait for the logo to go white. That's it, went white, and you have to kind of pour it horizontally, and you can hear it. It's like a little motor purring or pressurizing. You can kind of see how it's working there. I'm not sure how well that looks on the camera, but this is a 2-part pour. So what you do is, yeah, you pour it as normal. Yeah, I'm not going to describe it. It's all in the manual when you're trying to figure out how to pour it. And then I'll let that sit for a little bit. 60 seconds you're supposed to wait. You don't press the button again, you just wait 60 seconds and then you pour it again. So I'm going to try the non-alcoholic one first. I don't think there's any point in trying that. I mean, I'm going to get my bucket. I could try it, but it's probably going to taste terrible. Yeah, that tastes disgusting. It doesn't taste like disgusting, it just tastes like a generic stout. So you can see that it's almost as if the nitrogen widget or whatever is not activated, because this is the I'm better getting the cans. This is a Guinness Original. This could be such a weird video. This is Guinness Original, which is fizzier. It's not like a creamy mouthfeel. It's just like a stout, or like a micro stout or whatever. That's how that kind of tastes. It reminds me of like the feel of Stout Jock from Brockton, or any other stouts that you've kind of had, that kind of fizzy taste to it. Not creamy at all, not thick. It's alright, it's nice, could drink it. Doesn't taste like Guinness though, it doesn't. I wouldn't have that and say this is Guinness Original. I wouldn't have that and say this is Guinness. It says on the front, dark and lively. It is lively, that's how I would describe it. It's like fizzy. So we'll see how the non-alcoholic one, the head's still holding up really well. And I have had the non-alcoholic one several times, especially out at work when I can't drink, and it does fill a hole. It's on my nose. It is nice. It's sweeter, a little thinner, but that head, the head is just what you want. It's all about the head, about the creaminess, the voluptuous mouthfeel of it. It's just beautiful. I'm going to pour the rest of this now. I feel like that's been maybe a minute or maybe under a minute. So it says you want to kind of pour it at quite an angle. We'll get that going up, and we'll try and stop right about, we'll maybe go a wee bit further. There we go, that'll do. So, what I've noticed with the can in particular, and it depends how pernickety you are, but it's so much more aesthetically pleasing than the rest. It's a smooth head, there's no bubbles in it, and you get a perfect dome. I've never managed to get a dome, and I don't know if it's my pouring skills. I've not managed to get a dome pouring these. I've not managed to get a dome pouring a non-alcoholic one. So whether the device helps, which I'm assuming it does, or whether my pouring skills are just terrible, I'm not entirely sure. But I'm going to go for more of the non-alcoholic one, So I'll try and keep these cans out. I probably should have kept these cans out so I know which one's which. I know what the non-alcoholic one is, and I know what the draft one is, because the draft one didn't work at all. Yeah. I think I'm gonna pierce the, I've not really cleaned this, I'm not going to be able to clean this glass, but yeah, you can hear it. I do have some water actually. I'm sorry this is so ad-lib. I've not like written anything down or took any notes. I'm just trying to do a little kind of self-experiment myself, more for my own benefit. So I'm going to try and pierce the normal widget cans, the normal draft cans, and use the attachment on that and see how that pours. So I'm going to pierce this. This is probably going to go all over the place or just not work. But the first one it really didn't work at all. Come on. I've got like a little screwdriver as well to try and pierce it, and a pin, but I'm not sure what's going to work. I've got like a little pin. It does look like it's piercing, but it's yeah. We'll try it on the actual sensitive part. This is terrible. This is probably the worst like long. Oh. Yeah, I think that activated the widget. Will it work pouring still with the? Yeah, it definitely activated the widget. I'm going to try it anyway. Give up. Who cares? We're having fun. It's a wee experiment. Let's see how this works. So press the button, light comes on, and then give it a pour. Yeah, that's definitely already. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. Obviously, this isn't a pint, so you can't really get the dome. But I'm hoping I'll get some sort of dome. I'll show you the dome on the actual Nitro Surge can and how that's worked. So I'll leave that for a bit. So yeah, there's the Nitro Surge can. I'm not sure if you can see that. I mean, it's not perfect. There's a little bit of a kind of edge in that, but oh man, look at that. Yeah, I don't know. That's. I'm hoping the camera's well focused. I don't have just dripped some all over the garage floor. I'm hoping the camera's focused well. I'm going to take a sip of this, see how this tastes. Oh. Yeah. Just Guinness. What else would you expect? It's really nice. Once again, the creaminess is there, the texture's there. The non-alcoholic one is definitely sweeter. It kind of brings the cheeks in a little with its sweetness, whereas the Nitro Surge can, just that right level of bitter, right level of sweet. I'm going to fill up the rest of the. I'm not sure if it's maybe because you're pouring from a nozzle that it gives you a little bit of a better or a smoother head. Possibly pouring from the can agitates the head too much and gives you those bubbles around the head. Whereas this head, although it's not right, it is a lot smoother. It's not as bubbly as the Zero, the non-alcoholic Guinness. But yeah, what's this? I'm going back to the original, which is this one. I mean, no. Compared to the other three, it's a no. I mean, if you're 4.2%, if you're stuck for time and you just want a stout, then yeah, but it doesn't scream Guinness to me. So this one can go in the bin. The original is not what I'm looking for in a Guinness. If I want a stout like that, I'll go elsewhere. So we're down to the draft, the Zero, and the Nitro Surge. So the draft. Yeah. Guinness. It's thick as well. But for some reason, I don't know if it's. I feel like that tastes better. I feel like it tastes better, and I feel like it's a better mouthfeel than Nitro Surge. The stout one with the widget, and obviously the widget popped, I will need to try and perfect the slow release and try and pour it. But the draft one just seems a little thinner. Just as the 0.0 seems thinner. How the Nitro Surge just seems right. It doesn't, I wouldn't say it's exactly like a pint of Guinness from a draft at the not extra cold, just a normal pint of Guinness in a straight glass. It doesn't, it's nowhere near that obvious. In fact, it's close, but it's not it. So there's still a reason to go to the pub. Sorry, I'm burping. There's still a reason to go to a pub and have a pint of Guinness. I mean, see if you're not driving, or see if you've got something medical coming up or whatever. These 0.0s are pretty good. The only issue is that, like I said, they're a little bit sweeter, but they are decent for what they are. The drafts, yeah, if you don't want to spend the extra money. I mean, this little tool is an investment. Once you've got it, you've got it. It's rechargeable. It's got rechargeable batteries, I think. Yeah, it's rechargeable anyway. You put it in a USB. So once you've bought that, yeah, the cans are a little bit more expensive. And can you tell the taste difference? Is there a taste difference? I don't think there's much of a taste difference, or much of a taste difference that I can tell, but you're getting a better mouthfeel on this for sure. Definitely. The head on the Zero is starting to go down a little bit. The head in the Nitro Surge still there. The head in the draft one's still there. Aesthetically, the Nitro Surge is better. Mouthfeel is better. Taste and the taste of the draft it's pretty much the exact same. I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you the difference. There's an astounding difference with the Zero being a little sweeter and a little thinner. As I've said with the stout, or the draft, it's a little thinner than Nitro Surge, and the original Guinness is just not for me. I don't want. That's not what I'm looking for in a Guinness. I don't want just a regular non-full creamy mouthfeel stout when I'm looking for Guinness. So that's a kind of bin, a whiskey bin, a Guinness bin if you like. But yeah, I could really just drink the rest of these so easily. Oh, there's cans everywhere now. I'm gonna look like a right alcoholic if somebody comes into this garage. So the Nitro Surge, I would say, is in first place for me. Then the draft, then the Zero, then the original. It just depends what you're looking for and what you're doing. The 0.0 is a great alternative if you can't have alcohol. There's no denying it. It's fantastic. But the Nitro Surge is just just so creamy. Yeah, it's thick. I think that's that's all I've got to say. Yeah, to clean these bad boys, you just put water in the top of it, let it pour out the stout. They even come with a brush to clean the spout out, or the stout. What did I say, stout? To clean the spout. But yeah, you just pour water in, and yeah, it's £30. It's extortionate. I would say it's a good gift idea. Definitely for Father's Day, for birthdays or something. And I'm actually happy I've got it. It's quite cool to whap it out and to see if people can tell the difference. It is, like I said, it is a little pricey. I wish it was cheaper. I wish they'd done a cheaper version. And I don't think the can should be as expensive either. £2 a can. But even at that, I'm happy to pay that for like a decent Guinness at home. It's the best that I can get at home for now, and I do believe that with the Nitro Surge. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on this little experiment. I hope you've enjoyed it, something different. I've enjoyed it. I love Guinness. I'm not an alcoholic. So yeah, thanks for watching. I've been Stuart, this has been Whiskey Whims. I'll see you later.